Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Engineer Clifford Fong. It's a pleasure for me to speak today. Before I open up my presentation, can I ask any of you actually drive today? Do you drive cars today to here? Yeah. And how many of you actually own a Tesla or an EV vehicle? Show of hands? No? Okay, great. All right. Now, can I have a show of hands of how many people today actually at home have one of these? Thank you. I think I've staked my case. Okay, now this is a phenomenon that we've been, at least I have been promoting. It's the sustainable use of air conditioning. Now, according to International Energy Agency, they have publicly reported and advocated that the number of air conditioners will be 4 times, actually, sorry, yeah, it's 4 times in a few more years. Now, if you go to any streets today in Hong Kong, whether it's in Wan Chai, Sham Shui Po, all these, right? What do you see? You see dripping air conditioning, water. It's a pain. Sustainable use of air conditioning is my passion, and I've met Pup about 5 years ago, and I had the same topic I talk about. My company have a very small, humble IP that I think I can solve a problem. Now, but this phenomenon is not only in Hong Kong, it's across in Asia Pacific, right? We have countries in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. Their use of electricity is phenomenal because of the industrial revolution. The GDP is growing pre-COVID-19. Obviously, we all will be wanting to buy in more air conditioner, white goods, TV, fans, etc. Now, this is a phenomenon that it speaks with data. And of course, in Hong Kong, besides commercial air conditioning, there is still a big problem that we face is residential air cooling, space cooling. So last year, over 38% of the electricity, from the end user data reported by EFSD is in residential. Now, compared to commercial, it's not as much, but I want to draw your attention. If any of you want to become part of this carbon neutrality regime or strategy, you ought to look at your consumption behavior, your own self, okay? So this is where I had a passion that I think that with this kind of context, we can look into the market size of a potential solution like our company. So AirX tried to complement a utility company around the world to see if my humble company's IP can become part of the ecosystem. So over here, I have a product that I have successfully sold to, or at least our capability to a Japanese utility company in Japan in about 3 years ago. They heard the story. They understand that that's important to them. And why is it even more important and pressing need for them? In 2012, they have this nuclear reactor accident. We all know the power market got deregulated. And of course, with power deregulations comes innovations, because now you can buy power from across different, prefecture, right? Just like telecommunication today, we can jump to another carrier. They need to be innovative. They're really driving. So they even put their own label in their own products, okay? Now, of course, as a solution company, we have been supporting not just them, we have been supporting a lot of companies. But I have one vision. What if my humble IP can turn into something great, right? Something that can control and support a strategy from, for example, CLP, Hong Kong Electric. They all have a specific time frame to install smart meters where they can inform you about the use of electricity. So demand management or demand side management, demand response management are one key topic that most utility companies like Chubu Electric, like CLP, like Hong Kong Electric are all concerned. So this is where I want to present it, why can we solve the problem? Because my company, not AirX, but AirX is a spin-off as a startup, has been working in universal remote controllers for 30 years in Hong Kong. We happen to be a Hong Kong company 30 years. We invented the industry. So as an engineer, we try to solve problems. So I see one big problem 6 years ago when I bought into the company and joined the board. And I thought that, wow, what if I can do something great, right? So I went ahead and applied a lot of patents, used a lot of IP. And today we are actually working with fan factories to embed our technology into the fan. And this is why AirX comes along. So obviously, whatever inside this piece of product is already shipping. In fact, CLP is, you can buy from CLP, eShop. But what if the technology can actually go inside a fan and it can effectively circulate all the cold air produced by the air conditioner at home, at a medium-sized SME, office place, because, even though big buildings use chillers and all that, we all know that a lot of companies, a lot of buildings are still old commercial buildings and they use split AC. By my count, okay, I come from telco. Penetration of air conditioners in Hong Kong far exceeds mobile telephones. So it will be around 30 million units in Hong Kong. And every year there's about 2 to 4 million being sold a year. So AirX is trying to disrupt the market. I want to eat Dyson's lunch. That's a big, bold statement, but I'm determined to do it. So the market that we're trying to capture is a mid-size, mid-market in between, where we can offer a lot of features, sensing and control, humidity control, and to be able to service the market. So it's being priced at just slightly over the average fan that you can buy with remote controller. But now this fan can actually actively control the air conditioner in your home. It senses the temperature, it can switch on and off automatically based on rules, based on algorithm, based on your pattern. And then we can collect a lot of data from households. Why is it important? We talk about data analytics. So this is actually some of the awards we have received. We've won actually Hong Kong in IE END divisions twice, 2016 and 2019. So we beat a lot of competitive entries from big conglomerates and also startups. We haven't stopped there. We're actually sponsoring Ningnan University for, at least I told them that there is a big opportunity to combine research in what we call heat island effect. This is actually on the right-hand side here, you see, this is actually Dr. Paulina Wong. She's a scholar in BIM, GIS, but also her research has been always in heat island effect. So what happened is different buildings have different thermal behavior. So I'll give you very quick examples. Apartments in Discovery Bay, during the daytime, like today, it heats up, it might feel 40 degrees, the surface temperature, but because of the environment and the greenery, the green belt, right? The dissipation behavior of the building and the material itself, and of course, the facade can behave differently. Buildings in Discovery Bay can probably come down to 27 degrees by 10 p.m. The same cannot be achieved in urban area where heat island effect is more central. So over here, you can see a graph where it shows the thermal behavior of the heat island effect, and where some sort pole, you see corridors where it's actually very, very hot in terms of temperature. So this is just some of our accolade awards. I'm very advocate about the ability of our company, of our humble IP that can actually turn and offer solutions to a lot of companies, not just Hong Kong, in Asia. It's a journey. I've been doing it for 5 years, and hopefully we can support different universities for research as well. I'm a researcher myself, so I'm very, very adamant on how we can actually tap and collaborate with academia, utility companies, and also with with our small team of IoT engineers to make a difference. There are other products out there. Actually, a lot of them are my customers. There's another very good company called MB Climate. They also do the same thing in Hong Kong. It's really nice that companies like CLP, they support both companies like, AirX and CL and MB. We see that utility company and telco company actually play a very important role. So we have a defined roadmap, try to unlock the opportunity. So this is just a kind of a snapshot of how we think we can go to market. We will produce our own product, but we will also license our technology to all the factories around in Greater Bay Area and also in ASEAN countries like Thailand, Indonesia. They all have factories in fans. So hopefully we become the go-to kind of the OS for fans, giving them intelligence and saving some electricity use in these countries. So with that, hopefully you can actually be interested in understanding that, it's a long journey to even try to convince people understand what I was talking about. But our team are very committed to delivering these solutions and promoting, what I say, sustainable use of air conditioning. And with that, thank you very much, and I'll end the note and try to catch up some time for the rest of it. Thank you, Engineer Clifford Fong. Back to you.
Thank you.